The rain was lashing against the windows, a relentless drumbeat against the glass. I curled deeper into the couch, the flickering glow of the TV, a feeble counterpoint to the gloom outside. It was one of those nights, the kind where the world outside seemed to shrink, swallowed by the storm. I was alone, as I often was these days, a comfortable solitude that had become a familiar rhythm to my life. I glanced at the clock, 11:30 p.m., late but not unusually so. I'd been working late, the deadline looming over me like a storm cloud. Now, all I wanted was a quiet evening, maybe a cup of hot chocolate, and to lose myself in a mindless TV show. The apartment was small, a one-bedroom on the third floor of an old brick building. I'd moved in a few months ago, drawn by the charm of the vintage details, the hardwood floors, the high ceilings, the fire escape that rattled ominously in the wind. It was a cozy place, but lately it had started to feel different. A low rumble shook the building, and the power flickered, plunging the room into an eerie darkness. I jumped, heart pounding. The rain continued its relentless assault, but the sound was amplified now, magnified in the sudden silence. I fumbled for my phone, the screen illuminating my face with a sickly green glow. Suddenly, I heard it. A soft scratching sound coming from the hallway. I froze, every sense on high alert. It sounded like claws? My breath hitched. I was alone in the building, wasn't I? I lived on the top floor. The scratching continued, closer now. I crept towards the door, my hand hovering over the deadbolt. I peered through the peephole, but saw nothing. Just the empty hallway, bathed in the dim light filtering through the windows of the apartment across the hall. Then, I heard it again, a low growl, a guttural sound that sent shivers down my spine. It seemed to be coming from beneath the door. Panic clawed at my throat. I backed away, my heart hammering against my ribs. What was that? What was down there? I tried to call 911, but the phone lines were dead. The storm had knocked out the power, and now the phone too. I was completely cut off from the world, trapped. I scurried to the window, desperate to see something, anything. The rain was coming down harder now, a torrential downpour obscuring any view. I could barely make out the blurry outlines of the buildings across the street. Suddenly, a shadow flickered across the window pane. It was gone in an instant, but I saw it, a dark shape, moving with unnatural speed and agility. I pressed my face against the glass, straining to see more, but it was gone. Terror seized me. I was alone, trapped in this apartment with something out there. I searched for anything I could use as a weapon, a heavy book, a sturdy lamp. I found a small baseball bat leaning against the wall, a relic from a childhood I barely remembered. I gripped it tightly, my knuckles white. The scratching started again, more insistent this time. It was coming from the closet door. I backed away, the baseball bat held out in front of me like a shield. Slowly, I approached the closet, my eyes darting around the room, searching for any sign of movement. The scratching intensified, a frantic, desperate clawing. With a trembling hand, I flung open the closet door. Nothing. Just rows of neatly folded clothes, shoes lined up on the shelves. But then, I noticed it. A single, dark hair clinging to the edge of the shelf, unlike any hair I'd ever seen. It was thick, coarse, and strangely luminous. A wave of nausea washed over me. I slammed the closet door shut, the sound echoing through the silent apartment. I leaned against the wall, my legs weak, the baseball bat slipping from my numb fingers. The scratching stopped. For a moment, there was an eerie silence, broken only by the relentless drumming of the rain. Then I heard it, a soft, rhythmic tapping, coming from the window. I spun around, my heart pounding. I pressed my face against the glass, peering into the stormy darkness. There was nothing, but the tapping continued, a persistent, maddening rhythm. It was as if something was trying to get my attention, to communicate with me. I sank to the floor, my back against the wall, tears stinging my eyes. I was alone, terrified, and utterly helpless. Suddenly, the tapping stopped. The silence that followed was deafening. I held my breath, listening intently. but there was no other sound. Then, a voice, a whisper, barely audible, yet somehow piercing through the storm. "You're not alone." The voice was close, so close I could almost feel its icy breath on my skin. I screamed, a raw, guttural sound that echoed through the empty apartment. The lights flickered back on, illuminating the room with a blinding white light. I scrambled toward the door, my hands shaking, my heart pounding like a drum. I had to get out, had to escape this nightmare. But the door was locked. I pounded on it frantically, but it wouldn't budge. I was trapped. The whisper returned, closer now, more insistent. "You're never alone." And then I saw it. A pair of eyes glowing red in the darkness, peering at me from beneath the door. I screamed again, a sound that was swallowed by the storm. And then there was nothing. Just the relentless rain, washing away all sound, all hope. I don't know what happened that night. I don't remember much after that. I woke up in the hospital, bruised and battered, with no memory of how I got there. The police investigation yielded nothing. No signs of forced entry, no witnesses, no explanation for the blackout or the strange noises. They chalked it up to a freak accident, a combination of the storm and a lapse in judgment. But I know the truth. I know what I saw. And I know that I'm not alone, not anymore. Click here to watch my next video where I tell you about even more terrifying encounters with the unknown. Disclaimer, this is a fictional story. I hope you enjoyed this chilling tale. Please note, this story is intended for entertainment purposes only and may not be suitable for all audiences.